I've watched a lot of people make the same mistake. They come to Thailand on holiday, 2 weeks, maybe 3. The weather's perfect, the food's amazing, everyone seems friendly, and before long they're thinking, this is it, I could live here. The trouble is, a holiday and everyday life aren't the same thing. Moving here doesn't have to be an all or nothing decision. You don't need to sell everything tomorrow. And you don't have to stay where you are forever. There's another option, a way to see what living here is really like before making one of the biggest decisions of your life. And that's exactly what we're going to look at in this video. So why do so many people dream about retiring in Thailand? It's easy to understand. You're sitting somewhere cold and grey, it's been raining for days, and you start imagining a different kind of life. Warm evenings, eating outside, great food, and having more freedom with your time. For many people, that idea starts after their first holiday here. You come home thinking, could I actually live in Thailand? And for plenty of people, the answer is yes. The beaches are beautiful. The lifestyle can be more relaxed, and the cost of living can be very attractive compared to back home. But living somewhere is very different from spending 2 weeks here on holiday. That's the part people sometimes underestimate. I'm not trying to put anybody off moving to Thailand. Quite the opposite. I just think there's a smarter way to find out whether it's the right move for you. Let's start with the biggest mistake I see people make. They fall in love with Thailand on holiday and assume retirement will feel exactly the same. It's easy to understand why. On holiday you're relaxed, you're eating out, exploring and enjoying every day. Life feels easy, but living somewhere is different. You still have shopping to do, paperwork to sort out, things that break around the home, bills to pay, and all the little jobs that come with everyday life. The only difference is you're doing it in a different country, with a different language, and a different way of doing things. That doesn't mean Thailand isn't a fantastic place to retire. For many people, it absolutely is. But there's a difference between enjoying somewhere on holiday and building a life there. Before making that decision, there are a few things I'd think about. Healthcare is one of them. On holiday is probably the last thing on your mind. But if you're here long term, it's something you need to plan for. Which hospital would you use? What kind of cover might you need? And how might your needs change as you get older? We'll come back to that in a moment. The weather is another. Visiting during the cooler months is very different from living through the hottest part of the year. Some people love it. Others find it much harder than they expected. Then there's your social life. Holidays are busy, but retirement is different. Building friendships and finding a routine takes time, especially if you've left family and old friends behind. And finally, language. You can get by with English in many places, but everyday life becomes much easier if you learn a little Thai and understand how things work here. None of this means you shouldn't retire in Thailand. It simply means you should make the decision with realistic expectations. Because loving Thailand on holiday and building a happy life here are two different things. So what's the alternative? I call it a soft landing. Some people call it a trial run. Whatever you call it, the idea is simple. Don't make every big decision on day one. Test the lifestyle first. Here are the 3 things I recommend. First, rent before you buy. Buying feels like you've finally made it, but renting gives you something far more valuable at the start: flexibility. You may discover the area you chose isn't right for you, and that's much easier to fix if you're renting than if you've already bought a property. Second, spend real time here, not just a 2-week holiday. If you can, stay for several months and experience different times of the year. Thailand can feel very different depending on the season. And third, try different locations. Thailand definitely isn't one place. Hua Hin, Chiam, Pattaya, Jomtien and Bangkok all offer completely different lifestyles. And one may suit you far better than another. Live as though you're already moved. Shop at a local market, buy your own groceries, sort out a SIM card, find your nearest hospital, join a gym or a club and build a normal routine. That's when you'll discover whether Thailand really feels like home. So if you're gonna do a proper trial run in Thailand, what should you be paying attention to? I'd focus on 4 things. First, your daily lifestyle. The question isn't whether you enjoyed your holiday. Of course you did. The real question is whether you can build a routine that makes you happy once everyday life begins. Retirement gives you something most people spend years working towards: freedom. Some people thrive on it. Others discover they miss the structure and routine of working. That's not a Thailand issue. It's part of retirement itself. Second, your budget. Thailand can be affordable, but everyone's version of affordable is different. A trial run lets you discover what you actually spend, rather than relying on estimates or someone else's budget. Third, your social life. Living somewhere long term is very different from being on holiday. Building friendships, finding hobbies, and becoming part of the community all takes time. So it's worth seeing how that feels before making a permanent move. And finally, healthcare and getting older. Thailand can be a wonderful place to retire, but it's something you should think about while you're still healthy and have choices. Healthcare needs can change as you get older, and what suits you today may not suit you in 10 or 15 years' time. Some people are happy making Thailand their permanent home. Others prefer knowing they can still spend time back in their home country. There is no right or wrong answer. The important thing is having a plan before you need one. The best time is while you're still healthy, flexible, and able to make decisions calmly. Here's something I wish more people understood before making this decision. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. A lot of people imagine retirement in Thailand as one huge decision. You sell the house, you pack everything up, you say goodbye, you move permanently. And for some people, that works brilliantly. But there are other options that many people never consider. You can spend part of the year in Thailand and part of the year back home. Some people spend several months here during the best weather. They return home for family, healthcare, or simply because they enjoy having that connection. You can take your time. You can rent. You can slowly build a life here without feeling like you've closed every door behind you. And I think this is something people underestimate. Having flexibility allows you to enjoy Thailand more. When you feel like you're trapped and you've got no backup plan, every small problem feels bigger. But when you know you're choosing this lifestyle rather than being forced into it, you approach everything differently. You can relax, you can explore, you can find out if it really is the right place for you. The smartest move isn't always the biggest move. Sometimes the smartest move is taking your time and giving yourself options. I want to be straight with you here, because I don't think it helps anyone to pretend Thailand is perfect for everyone. It isn't. Thailand is an amazing place for many people, but it's not automatically the right choice for everyone. If you're expecting every single day to feel like a 2-week holiday, you might be disappointed. Because real life catches up with everyone. Wherever they live, you still have normal days, problems to solve, and things that don't always go according to plan. If you really struggle with change, moving to another country later in life can be difficult. Not just Thailand, anywhere. You have different systems, different customs, different ways of doing everyday things, and sometimes you have to be more patient than you might be used to back home. And if your entire idea of Thailand comes from holiday photos and social media, the reality might feel very different at first. But here's the other side of the story. For the right person, Thailand can be an incredible place to build a new chapter of life. The people who tend to do well here are usually the ones who come with realistic expectations. They don't expect everything to be perfect. They're curious, they're willing to learn, they're willing to adapt. I've seen people come here and genuinely improve their quality of life. They have more freedom, they spend more time outdoors, they build new friendships, they create a lifestyle that suits them better than the one they left behind. Thailand isn't magic, it doesn't solve every problem. But for someone who approaches it with the right mindset, it can be a wonderful place to live. Now let me tell you why I believe this so strongly. I've been connected with Thailand for many years, and over that time I've seen a lot of people make this move. I've seen people who came here, took their time, rented first, explored different areas, and slowly built a life they loved. And I've also seen people rush into it because they were so excited about the dream that they skipped the reality. And the interesting thing is, the people who usually struggle aren't the ones who planned carefully. They're usually the people who made big decisions before they really knew what everyday life here would be like. That's why I always say preparation isn't the boring part of the dream. It's what protects the dream. Taking your time, testing different places, understanding your costs, and thinking about the future doesn't make the adventure less exciting. It actually gives you a much better chance of making it work. Because before you make one of the biggest decisions of your life, you need to experience the real Thailand. Not just the beaches, not just the restaurants, not just the holiday feeling, the normal days. The days when nothing exciting is happening, but you're still happy to be there. Because that's what your life will actually be made of. And that's really why I make videos like this. I'm not here to talk people out of moving to Thailand. I still believe it can be an incredible place to live. But I want people to go into it with their eyes open. Because the dream is much more likely to last when you build it on reality. So here's where I want to leave you. The dream of living in Thailand can be absolutely fantastic. I'm not here to talk you out of it. I wouldn't want to, because I've seen how much this country can change people's lives when it's the right fit. The beaches are real, the lifestyle can be real, the freedom can be real. But the people who usually make it work are not the people who rush into it after one amazing holiday. They're the people who take their time, they test it, they understand their budget, they think about healthcare and getting older, and they give themselves options. Because the goal isn't just to have a fantastic 2 weeks in Thailand. The goal is to build a life where years later you're still happy waking up here on an ordinary day. That's the real test, not the holiday moments, the normal moments. So if you're thinking about making this move, remember 3 things: test, plan, and stay flexible. You don't have to make the biggest decision of your life overnight. Sometimes the smartest way to build the future you want is to take your time getting there. Now, I'd love to know what you think. Would you move to Thailand permanently and make it your full-time home? Or would you prefer a more flexible approach, spending part of the year here while keeping connections back home? Let me know in the comments. I always enjoy reading how different people are thinking about this decision. Hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you on the next one, guys.